do I stop my child stimming? The full form for stimming, self-stimulatory behavior. And the fact that I don't know how to pass the time otherwise is making me anxious. Brain is going to have a predictable future, near future, that all of this I'm going to do. Is that brain going to be involved into doing what the kid wants to do? Or going to be involved in doing unproductive, non-functional rigid patterns like or something? Tell me. You will see a sharp decline in self-stimulatory behaviors, and taking it forward, it will be completely gone because the child would be busy. Hello everybody, Rajni here. Today's topic, stop self-stimulatory behaviors in autism. Lots of times, a lot of you ask me, how do I stop my child stimming? The full form for stimming, self-stimulatory behavior. Let us dissect it a little bit before we get into how do you stop it. Over a period of time, it has been said that stimming is a way of release of anxiety, and it should be allowed. Now, if I break it down further, why is a child having the anxiety which the child needs to release by doing what they're doing this way or this way or whatever, or making a sound or jumping, some sort of self-stimulation? Why is the child anxious? Because if a child is anxious, has anxiety, then they want to release it in their own way. But if they're not anxious, they're not going to have to release it. So you don't have to overcome it, stop it through aggression and pressure. No, that's not how you're going to do it. You have to understand how to help the child not get anxious so that the anxiety part is taken over by the happiness of being successful or accomplished in doing something. So when I say this, what do I mean? This is what I mean. Ladies and gentlemen, a child who has nothing to do and does not know how to pass his time has a very unpredictable future for his own self. When I say unpredictable future, what I mean is, if I'm a kid with autism and I'm sitting here and I don't know the next 2 hours how they're going to be or what am I going to do, obviously unpredictability will kick in, anxiety. I don't know what to do. So I'm looking here and there and on my own. Because of autism, I do not have the capacity to stimulate myself in ways in which the neurotypical does. So what will I do? Whatever best I can understand, if it is knocking on the door, or if it is taking a spoon and doing this, or if it is taking a strand of paper and shaking it and just continuously looking at it, I'm trying to pass the time by doing these things which I don't know how to pass otherwise. And the fact that I don't know how to pass the time otherwise is making me, anxious. And now, as a matter of release of anxiety, it is very important for somebody to let me do it. If somebody will say, stop shaking that, you are trying to stop me from releasing my anxiety. I'm already anxious. So I might stop it here if I'm under good instructional control. I'll start something else because I need to get rid of the anxiety. So here, my very commonsensical and logical point is, if I let my kid know, my love, we wake up, this is what we're going to do, and then this, and then this, finally this, followed by this, so on and so forth until the kid sleeps. What have we done? We have given predictability, to an otherwise unpredictable environment. In the process, what have we done? We have created a functional rigid pattern. What is that? A system of thinking in the head of the child. First I do this, then I do this, then I do this, and it becomes like a habit, a pattern. So everything becomes predictable. What happens with that? Anxiety, whoosh, gone. Because he knows I wake up, I go brush my teeth, I take bath, I do potty, whatever. I come back, I take a bath, I change my clothes, I am sitting, I am working. Then we teach them how to see the visual schedule and the timetable. We have a structured place. Tell me, isn't that how schools operate? Yeah? Early on with children, with all children, not just autism, on the desk is written the name of the child or a picture of the child. They know it. Aren't we giving visual cues there? Why not home? Yeah? So the brain is going to have a predictable future, near future, that all of this I'm going to do. Is that brain going to be involved into doing what the kid wants to do? Or going to be involved in doing unproductive, non-functional rigid patterns like you something? Tell me. It's only logic. So instead of saying, how do I stop it? Look at redirecting the energy to a more peaceful way of being so that you are not striking panic buttons. What's going to happen to my kid? My kid is doing this and that. No. What you need to do is, number one, have the proper assessment of your child. Can my child do this, not do this, do this? What academic skills, what language skills, what social skills? A functional assessment, okay, and an academic assessment. On basis of that, say, this is my gap. I need to, over a period of 1 month, at least achieve this so that next month I can achieve this. So now what are we doing? We're planning. When you say in 1 month I need to achieve this, how do I do it? Okay, I'm going to use this book, I'm going to use this material. Yeah. And along with this, I'm going to have a time schedule. Morning this, afternoon this, every hour of the day. I am not going to answer this. You tell me. You answer me. Will the child stim? There's no way. Because there is nothing left for his brain to be idle and trying to find out how do I pass my time. He's so occupied. A lot of parents here tell me, but I'm working, how can I do so much? Well, that's your problem. That's your child. You need to prioritize well. When I say that's your problem, it's not arising out of apathy. Please, don't take me wrong. It's arising out of a fact that always in life we are going to have to find out ways for making arrangements for things and people and situations that are important to us. And our child is by far the most important. So we are going to have to find out if we are working, we'll have somebody deployed to do this. Yeah, pay them, teach them. Or if we can do a work from home, we'll do that. Or if we can take a half day, maybe less working hours, whatever, but we're going to have to look at making arrangements. And once we do that, once we put systems in place, once we have a structure, what after what, I promise you, you will see a sharp decline in self-stimulatory behaviors, and taking it forward, it will be completely gone because the child would be busy. If you like the content, smash the like button, subscribe for more, press notification bell so you don't miss anything going forward. And you want to learn more about autism, the kind of books to use, the kind of visual schedules to create, all of that, the description box has the links. Also, we do live on Tuesdays and we do masterclass on either Thursdays or Fridays. Please feel free to join that. The links to those are also given in the description box below. The links to the customized books, the e-books, all of that you'll find over there. I shall see you next time with another video. Until then, keep learning autism, keep taking your child to newer heights. Bye-bye.